In this video, we're going to be looking at investing and withdrawing from a pie. To invest in a pie, first select the pie you would like to invest in. Then click the Invest Withdraw Funds button. Here you can use the slider to select the amount you would like to deposit within a pie. You are given a breakdown of which holdings in the pie your funds will be distributed into. You have three methods of doing this. The default method is by target, which means the funds you deposit will be distributed according to the percentages you've selected for your pie. So our Apple stock, which we selected to be 40% of the pie, will receive 40% of the incoming funds. Okay, let's confirm the buy. AutoInvest has now invested our funds in the pie. If we go across to our holdings tab, we can see our percentages here for each of our holdings. Okay, so now we're going to look at funding a pie which is off balance and using the self-balancing method of depositing. Okay, so if I go into my first pie and take a look at its holdings, we can see that this pie is currently off balance. The S&P 500 ETF is underweight and our Barclays stock is overweight. Let's add some funds to this pie. Okay, so we see if we choose to do the default option of buy targets, this is how our funds will be split. You can see that the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF will receive 15% of the funds, whereas the Barclays stock will receive 14%. This might not be ideal as our pie will continue to be off balance. If we switch to self-balancing, we can see how this changes, whereas the Barclays stock, which was overweight, will not receive any of the incoming funds. The final option is custom, which allows you to set a custom amount for each stock. Again, this must add up to 100%. You can type in the percentages if that's easier for you. For this pie, I'm going to choose the self-balancing option, which I would generally recommend, especially if your pie is not balanced. Okay, let's confirm this buy. Okay, so you can see the value of this pie has been increased by 50. Let's take a look at our holdings. Here we can see the pie is now a lot more balanced than it previously was. It's not fully balanced as the Barclays holding is still larger than we would like it to be. We could fix that by adding more funds using the self-balancing option, or we could do a rebalance, which I'll show in a later video, or we could do a withdrawal, which I'll show you next. Okay, now let's look at doing a withdrawal from our pie. This is also done from the same option as we used to invest, except we need to click the withdraw option. When withdrawing, we can see we're presented with the same options we were given when we invested into a pie. Buy targets will remove the funds in proportion to their target percentage. Let's look at self-balancing. The self-balancing option first removes funds from overweight stocks and also leaves funds in any underweight stocks to try and balance the pie. In this pie, our Barclays stock was overweight, so we can see that the highest percentage will be removed from that. Okay, let's confirm this sell. If we look at our holdings now, we can see Barclays has been brought back in line and our pie is balanced. That wraps up investing and depositing into pies. The next video will cover editing a pie and rebalancing.